Look at these people!
And his brother Richard.
Look at these idiots! Look at these psychopaths! Look at them! Your local clowns, your local weirdos.
Oh, and while
what?
most probably aren't caught on video, what you're about to see was a school bus traveling along the N4.
Hey, yo. What is good, you guys? My name is Rebound Leader. Hope you guys are doing well. Today, I'm just gonna make it very, very chill. I know I have not posted in like 5 days, 4 days. What's going on with the uploads? I've been just trying to figure out this upload schedule. It's been very weird. You know what I'm saying? I'd be tired sometimes. I just need to get this schedule working. Give me another week or two. You know what I'm saying? And then it'll get back to normal. I promise y'all. But yeah, I haven't been uploading in like a couple weeks or days, honestly. It feels like weeks, but it's been days. But yeah, scariest things that happen to school buses. How is this even possible? How can this even be scary? Figure that out right now. Hope you guys enjoy. Hit that like button. Let's get right to it.
July 15th, 1976, Chowchilla, California. A day that the town would like to forget forever, yet remains a part of its history. At around 4 p.m., school bus driver Ed Ray was driving 26 students of Dairyland Elementary School home from a summer class trip to the Chowchilla swimming pool. Ray was described as a humble rancher with a
humble rancher? Get the frick out of here with this humble rancher, my ass. This guy looks like a predator, a kidnapper. Get out of here.
About 55 years old, a guy you would not want to pick a fight with, a guy who works with his hands and doesn't talk much.
Heck no.
On this particular day, Ed's bus was rowdy, but the kids all loved him for his patience and reliability. The kids were all loud and excited after just having spent the afternoon swimming. Some of them were even singing, but when the bus turns onto Avenue 21, Ray sees a white Dodge van blocking the road with its door open. He tries to weave around the empty van, when a guy in overalls with a pantyhose covering his face jumps out in front of the bus with a revolver. The man walks to the driver's side window and asks Ed, with no intimidation in his voice, "Would you open the door, please?" Ed opens it. Two more identically dressed figures jump in, one with a rifle, which is quickly pointed at Ed. Everybody goes to the back of the bus. The one without a rifle starts to drive, and the one with the revolver hops in the van to follow them.
How the frick did you just do that? How you just open the door for them that quickly? You planned this,
They drive about a mile and park the bus in a bamboo thicket.
You planned this.
The entire ride was apparently so silent that it added to the pure horror of it. The bus was hidden near the Chowchilla River, and 12 kids were ushered into the white van that was following the bus.
What?
Ray and the other 14 kids got into the back of the second van that was waiting at the location, this one green. There was a partition separating the driver's seat to the back of the van, and all the windows were sealed. Ed and all the kids sat in the backs of these vans for 11 whole hours, in the pitch black and extreme heats, all the while scared for their lives, not knowing what was going to happen next. Some of the older kids started to sing songs to try to lighten the incredibly horrible setting and make the younger kids feel better. Songs like If You're Happy and You Know It.
Oh, wow.
Meanwhile, back in town, only took 15 minutes after the bus not showing up that parents began to wonder what was going on. That's how punctual Ed always was. Within the hour, the missing bus was being talked about on the local news stations. Parents helped police by tracing the route the bus usually took, and by that evening, they found the abandoned bus. Within hours, 30 FBI agents arrived on the scene, and an intense investigation was underway to find the kids and Ed. Late that night, the vans finally arrive at a rock quarry 100 miles away in Livermore, 3:30 in the morning, at which point Ed had been awake for 24 hours. The back doors of the van swing open, and two guys are waiting. Ed is the first one out. He's handed a flashlight, and then told to strip, and then go down a hole with a ladder in it.
What?
Above ground, roll call is being taken for the children, and their names are written as they're made to leave the bus one by one. Then they're stripped and sent to join Ed down the ladder into what was referred to as the hole, which turned out to be an old moving van, which had been placed in a large dugout hole 12 feet underground. Ed immediately worried that the ceiling would cave in or that they'd suffocate. However, there were two air shafts.
What in the world? You tell me that these kids plus Ed were in here? Look at this. It looks like it's about to cave in. Really dug this out just to place a freaking moving van in here. Just so that no one knows. What? In the foolery?
Hoses that ran above ground to a tree. There were also some mattresses on the ground and a pathetic amount of necessities. Wonder Bread, peanut butter, potato chips, water jugs, and some holes carved for toilets. After all the kids were inside,
wow, that's it right there, huh?
"We'll be back for you." Then a steel plate slid over the entrance and was weighted down by something. They They of course begged to be let out, and many of the younger children screamed. Then they heard repeated thumps on top of the van. They couldn't see it, but their captors were shoveling dirt on top of the van, burying them alive. Panic ensued in the trailer when it was realized what was happening.
It's a big ass hole. That's not.
Ed tried his best to keep everybody calm. Ed and Michael Marshall, the oldest kid in the group, who was 14, started to push at the lid to try and open it. But it was pointless.
Oh, damn, they died.
By now, Ed instructed everyone to eat and get some rest.
They freaking passed away, huh?
12 hours later, the food was all already consumed, and the ventilation system that was keeping the van cool stopped working, and the hot July air started to fill the tight space. On top of that, the roof of the van started to cave in, and Ed knew time was very limited. The survivors, now adults, recount that around this time, as the walls and ceiling of the van were caving in and there was no food left, that they were starting to realize they wouldn't likely make it out of this alive. Ed and Michael started to pile up the mattresses and...
Wait, are you telling me this is live video of the... Wait, no way. This gotta be like a reenactment of the scene. Like, this gotta be a reenact. This can't be real, right? This can't be a real video recording, right?
The trailer to get to the roof, which had been covered with a heavy sheet of metal and weighted down with two 100-pound industrial batteries. After hours of effort, Ray and Michael wedged the lid open with a piece of wood and moved the batteries. They then dug away the remainder of the debris blocking the entrance. 16 hours after they had entered the van, the group emerged and walked to the quarry's guard shack, where a security guard called the police. Ed and the children were brought to a nearby... 16 hours after they had...
Bro, this girl right here looks like she's seen things that she's not supposed to see.
The group emerged and walked to the quarry's guard shack, where a security guard called the police. Ed and the children were brought to a nearby jail, where they were fed and interviewed by police. So the captors were three men, Frederick Newall Woods.
Look at these people!
And his brother Richard.
Look at these idiots! Look at these psychopaths. Look at them. Your local clowns. Your local weirdos. What's their names?
Fed and interviewed by police.
What's their clucked ass names?
So the captors were three men, Frederick Newall Woods, James Schoenfeld, and his brother Richard.
So Frederick, Richard, and James. Cluck names. Get the frick away. If you know any single one of these people that are named Frederick, James, Richard, get the frick away from them. They're automatic psychopaths.
The three men were finding themselves in financial struggles, so they planned to hijack the bus and demand a $5 million ransom to release the group.
Are you stupid?
The men would flee when they saw the group escaped, though.
They're so dumb.
A 2-week manhunt. They were found guilty and sentenced to life with the possibility of parole. Richard Schoenfeld was released in 2012, and James Schoenfeld was paroled on August 7th, 2015. Frederick Woods was denied parole 15 times because he owned the quarry. However, in March of this year, he was granted parole as well. Rightfully so, people of Chowchilla and people around the world were sickened at the fact that the three...
How? Bro, I know damn well if they were black, bro. I know damn well if they were black, bro, they would get life. They're not getting no parole. You're not coming out of prison. I know damn well. I don't care.
Could ever roam the streets again. If Michael and Ed hadn't stepped up and dug the group out of that van, they likely would not have survived.
Facts.
Ed Ray died at 91 in May 17th of 2012.
R.I.P.
Still to this day remembered as a hero.
Hero. Legend.
What you just heard may perhaps be the most well-known near tragedy to happen to a school bus full of children.
I never heard of this.
It's a big world, and there are unfortunately many other horrific events that don't end up on the news.
Talk to me.
Then 14-year-old Donald, who wished to have his last name left out, was a student at a high school in Virginia and a member of the school's band. The bus driver's name was Robert, but everyone called him Bob. Like Ed Ray, he also seemed to enjoy his job and enjoyed the company of the students he drove, albeit these students were a little older. On October 20th of 1995, Bob was driving a class of band students to and from their field trip. Donald was in this bus. The festival they went to ended late at night, around 10.
I played the clarinet.
And the drive back to the school where the students would be dropped off was a 45-minute drive away. The bus was on Route 58, a highway that runs through Virginia. Given the rural setting, there were basically no other cars on the road. But even when one car was relatively close to the back of the bus, it wasn't any cause for alarm at first. But when the car would start to tailgate the bus, instead of simply going around it, especially when the bus and the car were the only vehicles in sight, the students near the back of the bus started to realize and discuss amongst themselves how strange it was. Bob the bus driver would switch into...
His name was Bob. That's a cluck name! Bob the bus driver? I'm not trusting it. Huh? I'm not talking to you. As soon as I get on that bus, I'm just gonna be like... And then... Bro, I stay at the back of the bus, so if any cluckness tries to happen, I can just open the freaking back door and I'm hopping out. GG's to the rest. Like, the frick... Every man for themselves.
The left lane to get the driver
Bob
off
the
his
bus
ass.
driver.
And
Get
all
the frick out of
kids
here.
watched As the car floored it past the bus in the right
Sus as
lane.
heck.
Some
Sounds
kids
hella
shouting things out
pedo-ish.
the windows, to which the chaperone on the bus told the kids to knock it off. Donald recalls thinking the car was gone and it was just some aggressive late-night driver, when suddenly the bus slammed on the brakes so hard that everybody was slightly lifted from their seats.
Holy
there was
frick.
an ear-piercing shriek from the brakes. The bus came to a halt on the middle of the highway, and Bob told everyone to remain calm. The bus went into reverse for a few moments, then back in drive to another halt. Bob shouted at everybody on board the bus to keep quiet and don't panic. And hearing those words made Donald, along with his friends he was sitting with, and every other student on the bus whisper amongst themselves nervously. There was shouting from outside the bus from multiple men's voices. Then the bus doors opened, and two men wearing black pullover masks armed with handguns came on board, yelling at everyone on the bus to shut up in response to a few students near the front screaming.
Oh!
One of the men with the guns announced to the entire bus to empty their wallets of all cash and take any jewelry off and to give it to them.
Are you really robbing kids? Huh? You really robbing kids? To empty all wallets, pockets, everything, jewelry? Or banned students! What the frick are you on? Bro, I swear these robbers, I swear these people have no freaking common sense. You're like,
They went row to row with their guns pointed at the kids, as each student took out their wallets and placed whatever small amounts of money broke high school students could be carrying in their wallets into the plastic bag the guy was holding, and the girls would take off their jewelry. Some students would scream, which would be a natural reaction for some. Donald described the moment he had a gun pointed at his head at 14 as emotionally traumatizing, that he felt his entire existence would end if he moved or looked at the guy the wrong way.
Yep.
The men didn't even make it to the back of the bus before they decided to leave in a hurry, most likely panicked that other cars would pass by and stop. The car floored it away down Route 58 with its lights off. Its license plates had been covered, indicating it was a planned attack, if the guns and masks weren't already indication enough. Everyone on board made it home okay. Just most of the students, as well as Bob and the chaperone, had been robbed. Sheesh. Unfortunately, bus robberies are a common thing though, and while most probably aren't caught on video, what you're about to see was. A school bus traveling along the N4 in Bank one Friday night this past February was attacked by armed robbers. The teachers did not know it at the time, but the robbers had laid out rocks on the highway, intending to cause damage to vehicles so that the drivers would stop and the robbers could steal from them at gunpoint. The bus was carrying 4 teachers and the driver. There were no pupils in the vehicle. They were traveling back to the school after an athletics meeting when they hit the rocks and ruptured a tire. There were 3 robbers. 2 were armed with guns and 1 with a knife.
Oh, frick! Did they just fire a warning shot?
I need phone. Give me a phone. Why? Give me a phone. What is that your car?
Why are you taking the phone? Like,
the assailants stole cell phones, cash, jewelry, and a smartwatch.
Wow.
The bus driver was hit in the face with a gun and sustained a minor jaw injury, but that was the only injury. The robbers' tow truck later pulled over to assist. One of the teachers borrowed the tow truck driver's phone and called her fiancé, who notified the authorities. Police soon arrived and an investigation began. The robbers have still not been identified. Since buses can carry a lot of people, depending on the intent of the people looking to target them, they may see extra dollar signs just based on the amount of people on board alone. Even though you don't often hear about these things happening on the news, they do happen. In such situations where people are armed with guns, it's always best to just comply with their orders.
Holy frick, it's that easy? Like, not to be rude, but like, it's that like, are you telling me that it's that common for stuff like this to happen? No, there's no way it can be that common for me. That is just, no, I don't know, dude. That's clucked up. I feel like that'll be the end of the video. I don't know what else to say, but I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll try to post some more videos later on throughout the days. following days, the weeks. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Take care. Hope you guys did not get too scared from this, but I'll catch you guys later. Take care. Hit that like button. Peace.
You win. Perfect.